Morning, people. Morning, morning, morning. How is everybody doing today? How is everybody doing today? Y'all let me know that you can hear me. I'm working on something that's interesting, y'all. Not earth-shattering, but interesting for sure. How's everybody doing today? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Yeah, so Slim Life, remember, today there is no court, y'all. There's no court today. So this is not going to be a full stream. I am popping on this morning for a few so we can discuss the evidence that came out yesterday. But there is no evidence coming out today. There's no court today. And also there's no court on Monday. I believe it's a holiday. So I'm working on something that I consider to be somewhat interesting. Something I saw online. It's not a big thing, but it's interesting for sure. But we're going to do, because yesterday when I was watching this evidence from Shannon, I felt it was pretty bad. And I made that clear. I said, wow, this is really bad for Shannon. And after we ended the stream and I started looking on X, nearly everybody said, oh, that's the best they have. That's not evidence. And I was like, what? That's not evidence. And so I'm left like, what do people want to see? Do y'all need 4K video with somebody showing up there, showing their ID like, hey, I'm this guy. And the other guy's like, hey, I'm this guy. 4K. This is my social security number. Here's my birth certificate. And I'm about to do something to this guy. So I just want everybody to know who I am. I want everybody to know who he is. I want you to know that there's no way we can possibly be confused. This is my birth certificate. Here's my social security number. Okay, now I'm going to do the act so that there's absolutely no. I'm like, do people need like an actual, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the standard is reasonable doubt. The standard is reasonable doubt. So if the defense can introduce a reasonable doubt into the juror, then the defense has done his or her job. And so I started off like, I don't see there's a reasonable doubt here. Sorry, y'all. Let me put this on Do Not Disturb. Sorry about that. So I started off with I don't see reasonable doubt. But then hold on one second. Somebody just sent me something. Okay. So then as I'm looking on Twitter or whatever, I'm seeing other people's doubts. And I started saying, okay, maybe there is a reasonable doubt here, right? Maybe there's a reasonable doubt. So I started off with, I don't have a reasonable doubt, but then I started to read other people's doubts. And I said, yeah, some of these doubts are reasonable. But then I started thinking, but I'm being influenced by other people. And those other people have their own reasonable doubts. But if I were on the jury, those other people, their opinions, their point of views, their reasoning it couldn't affect me, because if I'm on the jury and I'm doing my job properly and I'm following the judge's instructions, I'm not talking to the other jurors about what we just saw. Not yet. We can talk about that probably weeks later, once the state and the defense both finally rest their case. Then we can discuss this video. At that point, I will have already been probably convinced of whatever I was convinced of, whether it was there's a reasonable doubt or whether it's that there wasn't a reasonable doubt. By the time they get around to resting their case, this is going to be weeks from now. Not just the state, which said they may rest their case either next week or the following, but then you have to have the defense's case, and then the state may have, I think there's a rebuttal or something. So we're still talking about several weeks out before any juror is even able to talk about what they saw yesterday with somebody else. So think about that. So I had an initial impression, which is, this is bad. I don't see a reasonable doubt. That's my initial impression. Then I was influenced by other people and quite, I guess reasonably so. I was influenced by other people who said, no, I think there's a reasonable doubt. And I said, okay, I can see this. I can see this. I can see that. But the juror does not have that benefit right now. The juror who does his or her job properly, they don't have the benefit of talking to other people and coming to some kind of, oh, I can see that. So whatever their initial impression is, they aren't going to get to watch the video over and over and analyze it. They don't get to rewind the video. They don't get to stop the video. They don't get to talk to other people about the video. They can't even ask questions. Not right now. So I think we can tell that our jury process is a little weird, that we need to analyze this thing and have a deliberative process with other people to resolve doubts, to bring out things that we might not have seen. I might have been zoning out when a key piece of the video was played. I might have just zoned out. I might not have had my eyes trained on that part of the video. Like, people were like, what about the person walking along? I'm like, there was a person walking? I didn't even see that person until people pointed that person out and I saw it on Twitter. I didn't even know there was a person walking along. So my point is, the jurors are going to have something. They're going to have a different impression than we have. And I would think that we are not in a position to even have any clue what the jurors are thinking. All right, Mr. Bombastic, I want also to pay attention to the white 300. Okay, so let's do it, y'all. Let's do it. Okay. So we're about to get into this video again, but everybody, can we just please keep in mind that we are not just we shouldn't just be thinking about what we see and what we don't see, because what we're about to do, the jurors, they can't do this. They can't grab this video and talk to other people about it and say, let's focus on this. They can't do any of this stuff. So as convinced as we may or may not become of this thing or that thing, we still have to keep in mind that the juror, who is the ultimate decider, they are limited and they have to see things through the perspective of just my point of view for now. Then I can deliberate about this video with other people weeks from now when this whole thing is over. So, it's kind of, so if everybody can keep that perspective, I think we'll get somewhere. My only problem with the video is you don't know who is shooting. So let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into it. All right, I'm going to skip my intro here, but I will just do this little coming up piece, though, just so that everybody is clear what's going on. Shamel Drinks is in this red car to your right. He's in this red car. He's pulling off. As a matter of fact, the video is going to show where everybody. Let it go. Okay. So Shamel Drinks is pulling out of the gas station. Shannon Stillwell is going to pull out behind Drinks. Quay Nichols is going to pull out behind Stillwell. I believe Max Sharp has confirmed that that was his client in that car and that he was behind Drinks. Also, y'all, Sharp also is going to say that Stillwell has reason to believe that either Drinks or people Drinks is associated with killed two of Stillwell's friends just days before this. So we're setting the scene. Stillwell believes Drinks just killed 2 of his friends, or Drinks is part of a group that just killed 2 of Stillwell's group. Couple of days later, 2 or 3 days later, Stillwell's at a gas station, whether it's by coincidence or planning, we don't know. But the indisputable fact is that Stillwell and Nichols are both at the same gas station where Drinks shows up. So this is the guy who just killed their friends 2 days ago, or the guy who is in a group or associated with people who just killed 2 of their friends 2-3 days ago, is what I understand. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. We're going to get into the whole video. We're going to get into the whole video. This is just showing the part where they pull off. So we have a guy who, let's just say coincidentally, you show up at a gas station, you see a guy who just took 2 of your friends out 2 or 3 days ago, or he's associated with the people who did it. You catch him slipping because it seems like he doesn't even see you there. It seems like he doesn't even see you. You'll see later, Drinks is literally standing, pumping gas next to Nichols and seems to have no idea. He does look around, but he certainly doesn't move like a person who's trying to get out of harm's way. So that's the backdrop to what we're going to watch. So then they pull off. All right, so let's watch the entire video here. I'm going to skip right to the video. Let me put it on regular speed.
So the Audi comes in, backs into the parking space.
The Audi that's backing into the parking space is Shannon Stillwell. That's Stillwell. By the way, can y'all let me know? Can you see my mouse, my mouse pointer, or no? Somebody let me know if you can see my mouse pointer, because I'm pointing over here. And I feel like if I can point with this mouse, it'll be better. But if not, I need to know. So somebody let me know. You can see it? Okay. So this is Shannon Stillwell right here. Okay. He just backs up. Now, somebody pointed out this white car here. This is a different white car. This is not Nichols. I don't know if I can make the cursor bigger, buddy. I'm sorry. I would, but I don't think I can. So here up at the top, I don't believe this is Nichols. This is, I think someone was pointing out this car. I don't know how much information we're going to be able to determine about that car. Okay. So let's continue. So Stillwell just backed in. He backed in. Walking guy, as far as we know, has nothing to do with anything. I'm going to speed it up a little. All right, so.
And look at the bottom of the video. Is there a timestamp on the video?
Yes, it says 2151, which is, it's 950, 951.
951.
And is it on March 14, 2022?
Yes.
All right, so this car, this white car pulls off, it looks like. All right, so the white car somebody talked about. Morning, Mr. Bombastic. The white car pulls off. Now, this is Nichols that just pulled up right here. So Shannon and Nichols do not pull up at the same time. Shannon and Nichols do not pull up at the same time. They are there at the same time, but they don't pull up at the same time. So this is Nichols in a Ford.
Fusion arrives at the gas pump. The driver gets out, walks inside.
Nichols gets out. Okay. You know, let me just let it play in case I don't want to miss anything. Sometimes I get a little like impatient, y'all. We're just going to let it play. So Nichols just walked in. Here's another white car with a black top.
He's followed inside a short time later by the driver's side rear passenger.
Okay, Miles Farley, I think that's his name, just got out. This is the clothing designer.
When the camera changed it, let's change to 2150 on the March 14th, 2022.
So Miles Farley got out the.
See the car backing into the space.
Yo, why would Miles Farley be in the back seat? Why would Miles Farley be in the back seat? Can we ask that question? Miles Farley just got out of the driver's side back seat. Why? Why was he back there? I know we're nitpicking, but y'all can see Farley get out right here. How many times have you rode with your boys? It is just two of y'all, and you ride in the back seat. It's very difficult to think of a reason you would ride in the back seat unless, like Papa just said, unless there's somebody in the front seat. Is that important to this conversation or no? I don't know.
He's followed inside a short time later by the driver's side rear passenger.
So there has to be somebody who didn't get out the car, probably.
When the camera changed it, let's change to 2150 on the March 14th, 2022.
We don't know that there was no passenger, but it's kind of unreasonable to think I'm gonna just ride in the back seat.
Car backing into the space outside the window.
Okay, so this is another angle, y'all. This was Shannon. This was them just showing. This is where Shannon just backed up. So they kind of jumped back in time a little bit to show the inside of the store angle where Shannon this is Shannon's rear light, backup light. Not backup light, but I guess this be his brake light. So they just jumped back in time to show where he backed in.
The tail lights.
Tail light.
Okay, that's with the Audi, correct?
That's correct. That's the Audi that backed into the front. Just prior to the engine arriving. At some point you can see it. It's hard to see, but you can see through the window that the driver's side door opens. The driver steps out and walks inside. You can follow him from this angle, following to the front door, and it's this young man wearing a pink hat and glasses.
Okay. So this is Shannon before the gut that he has now. This is the skinny Shannon. He's on the phone, looks like.
So that's at 2051, and then shortly thereafter, the driver of the Ford Fusion comes in.
He's on the phone. He might be talking to Nichols.
You mean 2151 or 951?
Which is not uncommon, by the way.
And at the time, did you know the names of any individuals who are in these videos at all?
I had no idea.
This is Shannon. This is Nichols, who just walked in.
So 2152, 11 seconds or thereabouts. Drive the Fusion in the beige jacket and hoodie, green hoodie coming in. He comes in and he buys something for the driver of the Audi.
Interesting to see these guys with a hoodie and a jacket on. And just moments ago, there's a guy in there with literally a t-shirt. Like there's a guy in there with just a t-shirt on, and everybody else is dressed like fall time or winter.
Yeah.
This is March, so it could have still been chilly outside. Yeah, he could be talking to anybody. I'm not saying there's anything nefarious about being on the phone.
And the driver of the Audi interacts with him.
Oh, hold on. Let's see. This was what Sharp was talking about, where they
and the driver of the Audi interacts with him.
Play around.
Okay, to me, they knew each other. And then the passenger exits with the other two drivers.
Was that Farley? That must have been Farley.
Okay, now we're back at 2153. 953. The driver of the Fusion and the passenger walk back to the Fusion.
So somebody, hold up. This white car is with them, y'all. Yo, hold up, y'all. This white car is with them. Because Farley, wasn't that Farley who Shannon just jumped out and scared or whatever? Yo, this is Farley goes up and says something to somebody in this white car with the black top. So nobody see. Yeah, we see it, Jasmine. You talking about this one right here at the pump? Farley says something to that person right here. Hold up. I didn't notice that. See, I wasn't totally like paying the close attention yesterday. I wasn't like totally keyed in. You're going to see Farley come up and say something to the person in this car right here. So they know. It doesn't mean they know each other, but it doesn't mean they know each other, but you know. So watch.
953, the driver, the Fusion, and the passenger walk back.
Yeah, because see, if this is your car over here, you're not going to walk on this side if you don't know this person, right? Like, think about it. Think about it. You in the hood. I don't know that this is the hood, but you like a hood type of guy. You street smart. If you don't know these people in this car, you're not walking up on their driver's side door. You're not, I mean, between them and the pump, impossible. Impossible. It's just impossible you would do this if you don't know these people. Right or wrong. Because your car's on this side, there's no reason you need to come through here. So if you don't know these people and you in this kind of area, really any area you in, even in a nice area, you're not just walking up on somebody's driver's side door at a gas station between their door and the pump with no reason. He's going to say something.
To the Fusion.
He says something right here. He says something to them right there. He says something to them right there. Y'all, I'm not going to get into the Shannon and Caleb Bumpus stuff. Y'all are free to talk about it in the chat, but I'm not going to mention that because I don't know anything about it. I know that there's stuff out there, but there's really nothing that I can gain from talking about it. Meaning gain, like there's no way to resolve that question. So I'm just going to leave it open. So Farley goes up and says something. So y'all, we have 3 white cars now. We have 3 white cars, and as Diane says, this car, they all appear to be tinted, but the problem is all of these cars look like they're tinted right here. So you can't really tell if there's a tint on this car or not. It does look like it. It certainly looks like it, but this truck looks tinted too. This gray car looks tinted as well. At least these side windows do. Do I think they will make Farley testify? So y'all, we're gonna just keep walking through this step by step because I want to see what Sharp says. I remember from yesterday thinking, dang, I don't feel like Sharp made as much. He got it. I don't feel like he made as much headway as I would have liked. But that's why we're reviewing it. So Cammie, let's wait to see what Sharp says. Right? Let's wait to see what Sharp says. Do I think they will make Farley testify? He might be part of Sharps. He might be a defense witness. Yeah, y'all, please do hit the like. Hit the like. Please hit the like, y'all. And if you're not a subscriber, do subscribe. So, y'all, where we are right now is we saw Shannon. We saw Shannon back in. He went into the BP. We saw Nichols pull up, get out, go into the BP. We saw Farley get out of the driver's side rear seat, which is circumstantial evidence, is not conclusive proof, but it's circumstantial evidence that there is somebody else in the driver's side passenger seat. We do not know that for sure, but I'm not riding in your back seat if the front seat is open. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not no little kid. So, all right. So we can conclude there's probably somebody or something or some reason that this front seat is occupied or unavailable. Farley's riding in the back seat. So Nichols and Farley go in. Shannon does a jump scare on Farley. They all leave out together. Nichols goes directly and gets in the car while Farley speaks to a person who is in another car, another white car. So we have 3 white cars. Farley might just prefer the back seat for some reason. That's actually possible. So we cannot, we cannot absolutely say for sure that there's a third person in the car, but it's evidence, but it's not proof. So let's continue. So Farley's talking. He might have just bought some weed. That's possible. He might have they went in. I think he might just bought some weed. Let's see. He comes around. Oh, Nichols was pumping gas. He wasn't in the car. Farley gets in the back seat again. Nichols is pumping gas. That might have been they might have just bought some weed from somebody. Nichols gets in the car, closes the
I'll
door.
get back in the car and sit there for a few minutes.
Oh, hold up. Who was Farley talking to? Farley must have been talking to the person who's, hold up. Somebody, so there was, somebody comes up and starts pumping gas at this car. So this car seems to have at least two people in it as well. Right? This seems to have at least two people in it as well, right? Because Farley was just talking to somebody, but then somebody else walks up and starts pumping gas. So we have apparently probably three people in Nichols' car, probably two people in this car. We don't know what this car is. Dad, why do you keep saying it's a transaction? Like, it doesn't matter if it's a transaction. That it really, the fact that it's a transaction has nothing to do with anything. All right. We're just right now, we're laying the lay of the land with all of the players, all of the characters, and what we can deduce from the different circumstantial evidence that we see. That's all we're doing. So if you say, Dav, it seems like a transaction, quite very well could be. It might not be. We don't know. But what we can deduce is this car probably has two people in it. There's probably somebody in the driver's side who didn't get out because Farley went up and said something to somebody, or he peeked his head in to see if this guy was there and he saw he wasn't and he just walked away. All right. So this guy's pumping gas. I think this is a guy. This guy goes, yo, is this a drop? Is this no, this is a drop top.
21:54, 20 seconds.
Okay.
54, it's almost 10 o'clock.
So we have three white cars, y'all.
On the same day.
We have three white cars now. Shannon's in a white car over here.
Driver Fusion is out, almost back in the store.
Okay, so Nichols going back in the store.
And so that's 9:54 time.
That's correct. 9:54. Makes a purchase.
Is this where Nichols is going to buy did he buy the backwoods? Nichols goes back in the store. So he's in the store for the second time. Okay, now Drinks pulls up. So what we don't see here is what happened to the white car that they interacted with. Y'all, that seems, at least in this video, to they didn't show that part. They did not show us where that white car with the black top went. You feel me? So right here where Nichols is, there was a white car with a black top. Thank you for the super, Cami Phillips, and also Pra TV. FedEx shows car behind SB. Yeah, we're gonna get to that. We're just walking through this step by step. Thank you for the super, appreciate it. So y'all, at this point, we had a white car with a black top here, where sometimes my mouse shows up and sometimes it doesn't. That's strange. Where the red car is now, there was a white car with a black top. Miles Farley, who's in this white car where Nichols is, he interacted with this white car that is now gone.
The red car with Mr. Jones. arrival.
All right, so this is the strangest part, y'all. This is the strangest part of the whole video until before we get to the end. You have Quay Nichols, who, by all accounts, has reason to believe that the guy in this red car just killed his friends. This guy has reason to believe that the guy who's about 10 to 12 feet away from him, 10 to 15 feet away, he has reason to believe that this guy who just coincidentally pulled up has just killed his friends days earlier, or at least is associated with the people who did it, y'all. So we're literally watching just, there's no way he would be moving like this, I don't think, if he knew. Is there any way he would be moving like this, y'all? Is there any way he would be moving like this if he knew that this guy was about to pop out this car? So it seems like this is a coincidence to me, because it seemed like if he knew that this guy was about to pop out this car, he would have been moving different, right or wrong. He would have taken some evasive movements, or he would have rushed up on the car, or he would have gone back to Shannon, like, yo, there he is. It doesn't seem like he would have just been casually strolling. Yeah, he does not look worried. Let's keep it going.
That's correct. So Mr. Driggs arrives as the driver of the Ford Fusion is walking back to his car.
Yeah, and he stays outside. He doesn't move in any kind of evasive way.
And what time is it now?
It's at 21:56.
All right, so he gets in the car.
4 minutes before 10 o'clock at night.
Drinks is taking a while to get out of his car, though. Farley opens the door, closes the door. Somebody said something about the van. What is the significance of the van?
It has a driver Ford Fusion already got taken to the car.
Yes, ma'am. You can turn in the driver's seat. They sit there.
So you basically have two ops, deadly ops, side by side, and it doesn't look like either one of them knows it just yet. Or at some point, the prosecution is saying that they do know it because they rolled up on them. So when did they find that out? Let's keep it moving. Let's see.
Both the Fusion and the Audi sit there until Mr. Driggs leaves.
Okay, so Farley keeps opening and closing the door. Maybe his seat belt got stuck. So Drink still has not gotten out the car yet. Y'all, can we all agree? You pull up, you see your ops, and if you're not ready to slide, let's say you're not ready to do anything, you just gonna pull off. Right or wrong? Y'all hit the like button, please. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Wouldn't y'all agree if you pull up here, you see your ops next to you? If you're not ready to do something, you just literally you by yourself, you just gonna pull off. You're just gonna pull off. So Drinks probably does not know. How could he not know? Maybe he just doesn't know. There's no way you know that the people that you beefing with, like a deadly beef, are literally right next to you. You're just gonna casually get out your car and stroll. No way. No way. No way. No way you pop out like this. Hey, I'm just gonna walk.
Drink goes into the store, makes a purchase.
No way. It's impossible that Drinks knows that Shannon is literally right here. Nichols is right here. It's impossible that he knows.
What time is it now?
21:57 on the same day.
In addition, he has the Ford
Yeah.
Fusion idle for approximately-
Yeah, Shannon probably made him when he walked past. I agree. I think King of Survival, that's why they call you the King of Survival. It probably happened that when Drinks walks past Shannon like, there we go. That's what I would think. It was just a straight coincidence that they all met up at that time, probably. And Shannon, when Drinks walks past Shannon, he like, there you go, right there. Right or wrong? Everybody hit the like, man. Come on, I'm over here. We're doing this on the day off of court. We're doing this for you. Hit the like, people. Come on now. So Drinks probably walks past Shannon, and Shannon like, there he goes. Shannon hits Nichols on the phone like, yo, you'll never guess who just walked past me. Y'all, we really in speculation mode. We deep in speculation territory. All this is speculation territory. So take all of this for what it is. Okay.
Since about 12.
Drinks comes in.
6.
He too casual. I think we can conclude, even though it's big time speculation. I think we can conclude, even though it's big time speculation, that Drinks does not know. He keeps opening and closing the door because he's dropping the backwood fillings on the ground. That's quite possible, Shakur. Good point. So Farley might be the guy rolling the blunt in the back, or maybe they both rolling the blunt. But yeah, he probably broke open the backwood and dropping the tobacco on the ground. Yes, probably. Drinks comes in. He doesn't know that they are there. Either Nichols sees Drinks when he walks past, and or Shannon sees Drinks when he walks past.
Sure, yes.
Drinks is inside, not knowing.
And out have seen
He got a whole stack of money in his hands. He doesn't know that. He just doesn't know. He doesn't know. He just doesn't know.
6, 21, 54, 21, 55.
No money.
Yeah, rolling the blunt makes sense. Oh, by the way, thank you for the 5 spot, Shakur. Appreciate the super chat and very good commentary there. So they dropping the tobacco out of the backwood on the ground. Now Drinks comes and speaks to this guy. Hold up, let's rewind this a little bit. When does this guy? Y'all, you see how many people coming? Okay, so this guy is already inside. We didn't see this guy get out of the car. So he's not. It doesn't seem like they're together.
6 p.m.
Sure, yes.
Girl walks in. She doesn't look like she's with anybody. She stands way back here.
Activity 6, 21, 54, 21, 55.
She's with this guy. No. Yo, in Atlanta, do y'all just give each other this amount of space? I mean, these people are way back up off each other. COVID was over. All right, so homie up here finishes his business, turns around, walks back, and he beckons for Drinks to come over here. Did y'all see that? He says, come over here real quick. Check it out. Watch his arm. He's going to say, come over here. Why? He's waiting for Drinks, it looks like. He look like he's waiting for Drinks, y'all. See that? He tells him, come over here. What was that conversation about? He says a few words to Drinks. Now Drinks is waiting for him. So they seem to know each other or something. Oh, this must be the guy that Stillwell says is like arguing with the clerk. He didn't have money. So you think, okay. All right, maybe that's what happened.
Mr. Drinks leaves.
And what time is it now?
21:59.
Got real respectful with personal space over there. Okay, is this the guy who was stealing? Okay, all right. Yeah, that was the guy who had the issue.
21:59. There's Mr. Drinks.
Drinks goes to his car. This guy goes walking off into the darkness. Looks like he doesn't have a car.
Yes.
Drinks is real he's way too casual to know. Now we have another white car that pops up at the top of our screen. Now we have another white car. This is the 4th white car that pops up.
And from your observation, have multiple cars coming on in the period of time with both the Audi and the Ford Future saying idle.
Does anybody know if this is the same? Does anybody know if this is the same car that we saw earlier? This actually is the 5th white car. All right, y'all, I'm about to pop back real quick. So we're at 19 minutes, 42 seconds. Does this car, y'all get a good look at this car real quick. Get a good look at this car. that's pulling up here at the top. What kind of car is that? Does anybody have any idea? Anybody have any idea what kind of car this is that just pulled up at the top of the screen? Because I want to go back. So we had 19 minutes and 35 seconds because there was a white car at the when we first got this gas station footage, there was a white car at the top of the screen. Now, that's not the same car. No, that's not the same one. That's not the same one. All right. It's not the same one. It's not the same one. All right. It's a different car. Let me get back. It's a different car, y'all.
Yes.
All right, so this car is white though. Somebody gets out, walks around. Yo, hold up. What did that person just do? It's so funny because once you start watching people's movements, you start noticing that there's just weird stuff that happens. Watch this person. Aren't they gonna watch this? Watch what happens, y'all. Driver's side, passenger door opens. This person walks around. What did they just switch seats? Yo, you know what? This is something we should be able to conclude. Weird stuff happens that might not have anything to do with anything. I'm going to show that one more time. This guy literally just gets out of the passenger side, walks around, and gets in the driver's side. Somebody explain that one to me. Explain this. He gets out of the passenger side, walks around the back of the car, and gets in the driver's side. Somebody just switched seats. Somebody just switched seats or something. Can somebody explain that to me? Can somebody explain why this dude just got out of the passenger side at this car at the top right? He got out the passenger side, walked around the back of the car, and got into the driver's side. Have you ever done that in your life? Unless you were switching seats with somebody. But usually if you stop at a gas station, you might do that on the highway so that somebody doesn't have to get out and get in danger. Would you do that at the gas station? Wouldn't y'all both get out and switch? I've never seen that before.
And what time is it?
So it's 10 o'clock. 2200.
Drinks is still here, probably oblivious that his life is in danger. We have a red. Okay, this red car doesn't have anything to do with anything that we know of. Women climb over seats. Yeah, not at the gas station, though. Did they even pump gas, y'all? Y'all, that's jive sus. Y'all, we say jive, by the way, here in the DC area. That's jive sus, y'all. Homie pulls up. You've done this at the gas station, Rochelle? Look, if you're on a highway, like on the shoulder, and one person like, yo, I only want to get out because it's dangerous. Yeah, you'll climb over. You pull up to a gas station where you have all the real estate in the world, you're just going to get out and switch. There's no reason that you're going to do the climb over. So y'all check this out. They don't pump gas or anything. Yes. Cuz pulls up. He gets out, walks around the back of the car, it looks like the door was locked. It looks like he beeped it, bloop, unlocks the door, gets in the driver's side, never pumps gas, but does pull up to a gas pump with vision of drinks. He can see drinks from there probably. At least when he got out, he could see him. He's not going to pump any gas. He's not going to go into the store. Nobody from the store comes out to his car. There's no interaction with this car and anything at the gas station, y'all. There's no gas pump. There's nobody who goes in to buy anything. There's nobody comes out the gas station to get into the car. Literally just pulls up to a pump, gets out the passenger side, gets in the driver's side, waits 30 seconds or so and pulls off. All right. This is another white car. So far, we have 3 white cars that have interaction with each other, and we have this 4th white car that has this weird glitch in the matrix situation where somebody gets out of the passenger side and gets in the driver's side. Go back a few seconds and pay attention to that white car that went past, okay? All right, so we're at 2107. We'll go back to 2035. If the chat gets in the way at the bottom, I'll look up for another feed, okay? I'm just using our feed from yesterday.
So it's 10 o'clock.
All right, which car goes past? Which car? Where am I looking at? Am I looking on the road back here behind? Does it come into the gas station? Where does this white car come in? We have a red car pull out here. We have a red car pull out. We have a gray, that's like a gray car. I don't see a white Charger. I don't see where a white Charger comes in. This is the car that's back up somewhere. If we go back, all right, so this is where Drinks leaves, y'all.
2159.
This is where Drinks leaves.
We're at 2158 now on the camera 19.
So again, we're gonna see Drinks walk out. We're gonna see
2159.
this is the guy I guess he just gave some money to. Drinks opens the trunk.
Yes.
Oh, Drinks opens the trunk by accident. Probably he was trying to open the gas tank. He hit the trunk instead. When he popped the trunk, I thought he was gonna go for a gun. When I first saw this, I was like, "Oh, Drinks must have, he got something in the trunk. Now on second view, looks like he probably was trying to pop the gas tank. He popped the trunk by accident. This dude doesn't know that these people next to him. Don't tell me that he knows, y'all. I thought he popped the trunk because, I thought he popped the trunk. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't pop the trunk. He popped the trunk by accident. He was trying to open the gas tank, most likely. I don't see a car. There's a white car up here.
Yes.
White Charger drives through about the same time as Chinese fire drill. All right, y'all. We're just gonna have to keep it. This. Yeah, it does show up on the scene. It does show. Where does it go though? That might have been somebody trying to avoid a light or something. It does. There is a white Charger that comes through though. I saw it right here. Might have been doing a turn.
And what time is it?
So it's 10 o'clock.
I think the most suspicious thing I've seen so far, y'all, is this person right here at the top who gets out of the passenger seat, gets in the driver's seat. Y'all, for real, if there's a shooter in that car and the shooter is the driver, it would make sense that the shooter pops into the passenger seat without getting out the car. But we still have to remember that Drinks was shot from the driver's side. Whoever shot him from the driver's side. So the shooter was the passenger. The shooter was the passenger, y'all. And the shooter said, "Let me drive." Now, speculation alert, y'all. Speculation alert. The shooter's the passenger. And they say, "There you go right there, yo. There you go right there." And the shooter's like, "Yo, let me drive." So the shooter gets out, walks around. The passenger just slides over so as not to be seen. The shooter walks around the back, got the blick. Now I'm driving and I'm in control. The shooter got in the back driver's side. Did he get in the back? Yo, if he got in the back driver's side, yo, why didn't Sharp bring this up? Pull up the other video. What other video? Send me a link to the other video. Y'all, if he gets in the back, if this guy gets in the back driver's side, we just saw who the shooter was, probably. No joke. Why didn't yo? We got to see if he gets in the back. If he gets in the back driver's side, it's a wrap. I shouldn't say it's a wrap, but it's very suspicious. Y'all, I don't typically do this internet detective stuff, but hey, this is part of the trial. We got to figure this out. This is not my shtick.
In the period of time.
Internet detective is not my shtick,
Yes.
but all right. Does he get in the driver's side back? No, that's definitely the front. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about it, y'all. That is definitely the driver. That this cannot be mistaken. This cannot be mistaken. This we get into the other two videos. They're coming up, y'all. Don't worry. This cannot be mistaken. This is 100% the driver's door. This is definitely not the back. Okay. So he this person is going to drive the car now. All right, y'all. I'm just going to let it play, y'all. This is what our stream is today. We're just going to go through this. We're going to go through Shark Cross as well coming up. So don't get impatient. We're going to go through the whole thing. We don't want to miss anything. Drinks is still outside of his car.
And what time is it?
He got his back turned. Y'all can't tell me that he know his ops are there, but he's not worried about it. He literally has his back turned to you know what I'm saying? He has his back turned to Nichols. Don't tell me that Drinks knows that Nichols is right there. Come on.
So it's 10 o'clock. 2200.
Don't tell me he knows that Nichols is there. He doesn't know Nichols is there. He does not know Nichols and Shannon are there. No way. How we know they are his ops? Well, Shark said that he just killed their friends 2 days ago. So that would make you an op to somebody. I think killing somebody's friends makes you their op.
And is it 2201 or 1001 p.m.?
So 2201.
White car pulls off.
Video.
We don't know where it goes.
And does the red car pull off at approximately 10:01 p.m. in the video?
Yes.
Okay, so y'all, that's Drinks. Drinks is pulling off, and Shannon's gonna follow him, y'all. I'm not gonna just play it, so that's not happening. Okay, we're analyzing it. You want to just play it. Go watch the original video. That's not happening. Anybody who wants me to just play it, sorry, it's not happening. I'm talking my way through it. If you don't like it, you can watch the original video. And they don't even just play it on the original video either. So you got to make your own video.
Audi pulled off.
That's correct.
And has white Audi been sitting idle for about
Shannon follows Drinks out.
at least 5 minutes?
Nichols
Yes.
follows Shannon out.
And that is sitting idle for about 5 minutes prior to the pull.
Yeah.
That's the end of this video. Now, this is where things get very uncertain because you really can't tell which car is which from this angle.
This camera's capturing images of the metadata on that. It says it's not a military car. The red car go by at 10:01.
You really can't tell.
10:01 in some seconds. And then the third car, the white car, at 10:01.
Hold up.
Yes. Third time.
Hold up.
This camera's capturing images of the metadata.
Where goes the white car with the black top? That is a big question. That is a big question. How do you know it has the black top?
The red car go by at 10:01.
He said the red car. White
White
car.
car at 10:01 in some seconds. And then the third car, the white
I
car.
don't see a black top there. I don't see the black top.
This is from the FedEx building. It's on
I didn't see the black
side of
top there,
Windsor.
y'all.
The top left-hand corner is where you see the light shining.
I'm gonna
That's the
talk as
intersection
much
of
as
the
I
red
want to talk.
intersection
You
just
can go
before
to
you
the
go down
original. You
Street.
can watch it without me
This is like
talking.
right here where the hand is.
Feel free.
Yes.
Feel free.
Well, that's what's on.
All right. I was talking about my talking and I missed that. So let me go back. I was talking about my own talk.
This is from the FedEx building. It's on the west side of Windsor. The top left-hand corner is where you see the light shining. That's the intersection, the red light intersection just before you go under I-20 at Windsor Street.
And is this the light right here or the hand circle?
Yes.
All right, so these are the traffic lights up here, y'all. These are the traffic lights here. They're gonna fast forward it to the part that we're interested in.
Approximately 1 hour and 44 seconds.
All right, so the light's about to change, is flickering. Okay, those cars turn. Y'all, one thing I feel like is it looks like this, it seems like we can tell that this traffic light is flickering at that point, which gives us some indication that we can tell when the light is like stronger or weaker, even though this is terrible video. Even though this is terrible video, we can tell a stronger light and a weaker light. This is drinks.
The car that just pulled up to the light now is stopped.
This is drinks right here. This is, at least we don't really know. This is where things get really, 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 really uncertain. The story the prosecution is telling is that this is drinks on the left. Shannon's gonna pull up next to drinks, and then I want to show y'all something. Because I actually did a little bit of my homework. So I want y'all to see this. So that everybody, I left this excessive talking. Maybe I should take that off. Thank you for the super sticker. Thank you so much, Mina. Y'all check this out. I want y'all to be able to determine exactly where all of this stuff went down. This here, Mina, I thank you for super sticker. I'm going to take it off so we can see. This here is the BP, okay? This is the BP. This is where they were. They pull off onto Windsor Street, which is this street. So we saw video from BP. Then we saw video from King Liquor, which is showing them going up Windsor. I'm going to say this is up Windsor. So that's where it was like really not that clear. But then the FedEx, so they really, as y'all can see, they really did not go far at all. They just went from here to here, which is not even maybe 1,000 feet or less. So they pull up. This is where the stoplight is going to be, somewhere up here in this area right here. So the FedEx apparently would have like some kind of camera on this side that shows us this angle here, okay? So I was wondering, is this a 3-lane road? Because it seemed to me like it was a 2-lane road, but if you zoom in, you can see that Drinks would have been here. He would have been stopped here. Shannon would have been stopped here. And apparently Nichols pulled up on this side. So it is 3 different lanes. This would have probably been a turn lane. So Drinks would have been here. Shannon would have been beside him. And then Nichols, according to the prosecution, Nichols would have been to the right of Shannon. So Shannon would have been in between those two. Okay. So let's get back. So now y'all have the lay of the land.
It's the red vehicle.
This car right here?
Yes. The Audi. The first car to follow the red car out is the Audi, or the white Audi. It's right next to it.
Right here?
Yes. And then the Ford Fusion is right to the right of that.
Right here.
That's correct.
All right. So we have all 3 cars at the light for approximately, let's say, I don't know, 10 seconds, several seconds. So they absolutely did stop next to Drink.
Yes. There's traffic now trying to go on to I-20 eastbound.
Hold up, y'all. Ho. I just noticed something, y'all. All right, I'm gonna back this up. It looks like initially. All right, we're gonna talk about the brake lights. We're gonna talk about everything. But I want y'all to notice something that I didn't hear anybody else say until right now. It looks to me like Nichols pulled up behind Shannon and then went around to the right. Look very closely. It looks like he might even have backed up a little bit. Just watch. Y'all tell me if you don't see it.
The car that just pulled up to the light now was stopped. That's the
Shannon,
vehicle.
Nichols.
This car right here?
Nichols comes last.
The Audi.
Now watch this.
The first car to follow the red car out is the Audi.
Watch,
the white Audi is right
watch
next to
this
it.
right here.
Right here?
Yes.
Watch,
And then
watch,
the Ford
watch.
Fusion is right to the right of that.
He's gonna back up, I think, and then pull around on the side of Shannon.
That's correct.
Watch. Right. Hold up.
Now, is there traffic going in the opposite direction where the car?
Right here.
Yes. It's
Isn't he backing up? Isn't he backing up?
traffic now trying to go on to I-20.
And now he pulls
Eastbound.
around, right or wrong. It looks like he pulls around like he's behind Shannon, then he pulls around.
And so the car where it's drinks and the two white cars are red light.
That's correct. It's red light now. And the Audi takes off through traffic, through the red light, as well as the white car, the Fusion.
So the Audi Fusion go through the red light.
Well, the Audi did. Yes, ma'am.
And was there still one kind of traffic coming and they were going through that light?
Yes, there was. And then that car did a U-turn, which is a little.
Video is trash. I agree with that. Y'all, I'm going to tell you something. I had no reasonable doubt yesterday, but I'm going to say where my reasonable doubt did come in. Then we're going to listen to Sharp because I want us to all hear, and I'm going to play Sharp without a lot of commentary, okay? I'm going to play Sharp without a lot of commentary. But I want to hear if Sharp is going to introduce the reasonable doubt, okay? One thing that I heard yesterday was that didn't even occur to me was that Shannon and Nichols pull up, they pull off, a third car pulls up, which apparently does the shooting, and then the fourth car hears the shooting and bucks a U.
The car that just pulled up to the light now was stopped. That's the
Shannon
red
pulls
vehicle.
up,
This car right here?
Yes. The Audi.
Nichols
First car
pulls
follows
up
the red car
behind
out is the Audi,
Shannon, y'all.
The white Audi, it's right next to it.
Right here?
Yes. And then the Ford Fusion is right to the right of that.
I don't think it's I think Nichols behind Shannon. And I think Nichols going to pull around to the right, but I don't think he's
Now,
to
is
the
there
right
traffic
yet.
going in the opposite direction where the cars are stopped?
See?
Yes. It's
Did y'all
traffic
see
now
that?
trying to go on
He
to I-20.
literally backs up. You can see it. You can see him back up and pull around. Like, it's to me, it's very clear. He backs up and he pulls around to the side of Shannon. So he's behind him at first. He backs up. He pulls around to the side of Shannon.
Eastbound.
And so the car
Now this car comes up and they
That's correct. It's red
bounce.
light now. And
They
the
both dip.
Audi takes off through traffic, through the red light,
This might be the shooter,
as well as the white car.
because
Fusion.
So the
as
Audi
you can see,
Fusion
pop,
goes
pop, 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 and this
Well,
car
Audi
said,
did, yes,
"Whoa, they shooting."
And was there still one kind of traffic coming?
They shooting.
Yes, there was.
That's a reasonable doubt,
And then
y'all.
that car did a U-turn, which is a little.
Okay,
Oh, I
either he does, maybe he doesn't back up, but he absolutely does go around.
I don't know if that.
Y'all, that last car that pulled up might have been the shooter. Look, it's gonna pull up. They're gonna pull off.
Is there traffic going in the opposite direction where the cars are stopped?
They're gonna
Yes,
pull
it's traffic
off.
now trying to go
Somebody
on to
explain that.
I-20
I didn't make this up.
eastbound.
And so the
They're gonna
car
pull
where
off when
it's
this
the two
third
white cars
car
are
pulls
red
up.
light.
That's correct. It's
They
red light
go.
now. And the Audi
And
takes off
then
through traffic,
this car is gonna. Okay, I
through the red
got you.
light,
He's
as
still.
well as the white car, the Fusion.
Bop, 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 bop. This
Well, the
car's
Audi
like,
did, yes, ma'am.
whoa, gunshots, 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 getting out of
Yes, there
here.
was.
And
And
they
then
like
that
bucking
car did a
you.
U-turn, which is a little.
And that's where drinks is
Oh, yeah.
done, y'all. That's
I'd
it.
say
I don't know what they witnessed or if they heard anything, but it's suspicious to me that at that particular time, since the
drinks
red
is
car no
done.
longer does not move, and it was around the same time that
Yeah, the person who was walking would have
the murder
absolutely
occurred, that
seen.
vehicle might have been previous
or
information.
They would have
It's my
witnessed
assumption.
a lot of what just happened.
Say
Yeah, I
again?
saw the guy walking. I don't think he's involved though. But he would have been a witness.
The red vehicle when you got on scene.
Okay, hold up. Oh no, it's not the third car. It's Shannon's second car. Look at the brake. Drinks was hit before the third car pulls up. All right, y'all, we're going to watch this one or two more times, and then we're going to go right into Shart. And the reason we're going to go into Shart is because all of the doubt that I have comes from reading people's comments. And so what you got to understand is the jury can't read our comments. So the only doubt that they have is either going to be that they just noticed something on their own or that Shart has to introduce that doubt to them. So we're going to see what kind of doubt does Shart introduce. But we'll watch this maybe once, maybe twice more. And then we just have to let it be. The brakes flicker when the third car pulls up. Y'all, I'm not so convinced by this. If he was shot, he couldn't have touched the brakes thing. I mean, I heard somebody say, well, that the medical examiner said he would have been killed instantly or something. I mean, you get shot, your body's going to do stuff. Who knows? He could have absolutely touched the brakes if he's shot. So, I mean, the fact that the brakes go on and off, they might have yelled something at him first. He might have been trying to duck. The fact that the brakes get touched means nothing to me. It means nothing to me. Stop at the light. Shannon pulls up.
The car that just pulled up to the light now is stopped. That's the red vehicle.
Shannon's absolutely beside Drinks.
The Audi.
Nichols is behind Shannon, y'all. So how important is that? How important is it that Nichols pulls up behind Shannon? It might not be important at all, but Nichols does pull up behind Shannon and then pulls around to the
first car to follow the red car out is the Audi, or the white Audi.
So as this guy gives you his play-by-play, I think he's definitely wrong that Nichols pulled up to the right of Shannon. Nichols pulled up to the side to be behind Shannon and then pulled around
next to it.
You're gonna see Nichols,
and then the Ford Fusion is.
You're gonna see him
to the right of that.
You're gonna see him pull around. Right. Let's see. He's gonna pull around right here.
Yes, there's traffic now.
See, you can see the change in direction and everything.
And so the car where Mr. Drinks and the two white cars are red light.
That's correct. It's red light now. And the Audi takes off through traffic, through the red light, as well as the white car, the Fusion.
So the Audi Fusion goes through the red light.
This car never actually pulls up beside. This car never pulls up beside Drinks, y'all. This car, y'all can't see it. I'm on a big screen here. It's pretty clear that this car is not side by side with Drinks. Y'all, if you're looking at this on your phone, you're not gonna see it. I'm pretty sure this car as of right now is not actually beside Drinks. So if there's any shooting, it would have had to have come at a forward side angle. It's not absolutely side by side with Drinks.
Audi did, yes, ma'am.
And was there still oncoming traffic coming and they were going through that light?
Yes, there was. And then that car did a U-turn, which is a little.
I don't think these two cars are side by side right now. Now it's side by side. Now it's side by side. It just pulled up to side by side right now.
I don't know if what they witnessed or if they heard anything.
You just can't tell. You can't tell because let's be honest. If somebody just got shot and you pulling up, you would stop to take a look too. If somebody just got shot and you pull up, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all, honestly, I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm about to give y'all my most likely thing of what happened. Y'all aren't going to like it. Sorry, you aren't going to like it, but this is what I think is most likely. Shannon pulls up.
Just pulled up to the light now and stopped. That's the red vehicle.
Shannon pulls up.
The Audi.
It looks like
first car to follow the red car.
I'm not going to say what Shannon did, but I'm about to tell y'all the thing that seems like is probably what happened. Y'all, I'm about to tell y'all what I think happened. Y'all aren't going to like it, but I'm just keeping it real the way I see it. Shannon pulls up. Not going to say what Shannon did. I don't know. But listen, the third car that people think did something, I don't see it that
right
way.
next to it.
My opinion is this
Ford Fusion is
some kind of altercation is happening right here.
That's right.
Nichols is behind Shannon. Okay. Some kind of altercation happens. Nichols
Yes,
knows
there's
the
traffic now
altercation just
trying to go
happened.
onto
He
I-20
pulls around to the
eastbound.
side of Shannon. This car hears everything that's happening, and you're going to see it's moving at a faster rate of speed, but it hears everything and it slows down. And it's
That's
like,
correct. It's
oh,
red light now.
shit.
And,
They pull
Audi
off,
takes
and
off through
this
traffic
car
through the red
comes
light,
up very slowly, like, yo, did I just see what I think I just saw?
as
And it
well as
doesn't want to get side by side because it's like, oh shoot, I might have just seen what I might have just saw what I thought I just saw. So it
confusion.
pulls up very slowly. And this car was close enough to also see, and it sees this car kind of slow down and stop. And this car is like, nah, man, I'm getting out of here.
Well, the Audi did, yes, ma'am.
So I think all of those cars, I don't think the third car did it, y'all. I don't think the third car did it. I don't think the third car did it. I think the third car saw it. And when the third car saw it, it slowed because it was moving and it saw and it slowed down immediately and it didn't pull up side by side. It's like, oh shoot. And it pulls up a little after and then it just goes. And this other car, the fourth car, sees kind of from a distance and probably hears something because those bangs would have been loud enough and then turn around. That's the way I see it, y'all. That's the way I see it. The reason, again, in order to think the third car did it, y'all, in order to think the third car did it, you have to think that Drink's ops pulled up. Like this Bama was literally he was totally oblivious, even when his ops was side by side with him. They were literally next to him, and the whole time he's in space. They pull off. He literally never knows anything, and then a whole nother set of ops pulls up on him. So this dude literally got made at the gas station. He doesn't know. He stood next to his ops, pump gas, doesn't know. Pulls off. They pull off behind him. He still doesn't know. They pull up beside him. He still doesn't know. They pull off. He knows nothing. And then a whole nother set of ops pulls up on him. He still doesn't know. And then the whole nother set of ops pops him right there. The fourth car turned around probably. The fourth car probably turns around due to hearing something. But you're going to hear that if you're in the area. It doesn't, and seeing something. That fourth car was close enough to see something, in my opinion. You can't say anybody's wrong. There's no right or wrong here. This is an opinion. This is okay. If I'm wrong, then present me with your irrefutable evidence. Okay. Everybody's just talking about their opinion, y'all. There's no right or wrong. Okay. So, there's nobody here who has the real. We're just talking about what it looks like to us. Okay. Thank you for the super black butterfly. By the way, y'all, hit the like, please. Hit the like. Hit the like. If you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. If the shots were not going during third car, what would the fourth car here make him do a U? I think both the third and the fourth car would have heard it and seen it. The fourth car would have seen the third car slow down. So think about this. You're traveling in a direction. You hear pop, 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 whatever, right? And you're like, yo, what was that? The car in front of you starts to slow down. And you think it's coming from that direction. So you like, yo, I'm bucking at you. Because I know we in that part of town. So the fourth car only needed to hear and see that the car in front of them slams on the brakes. That's enough for them to say, let's turn around. That's my thought process. They don't actually have to witness the exact incident. You hear something very close, is coming from that way. The person in front of you seems to be stopping. So you like, yeah, I didn't see enough of these situations. I'm going in the other direction. That's enough for me, for the fourth car to do the U. To hear something in this direction and the person in front of me that's closer is slamming on the brakes, I'm turning around. So I don't need any more explanation for the fourth car than that, personally. Okay? I don't think the fourth car had to have witnessed it up close. I think, again, heard it coming from up there, car in front of me was going fast. Now they just, I don't want to say slammed on the brakes, but they obviously reduced their velocity. They shooting up there. We going this way. That's enough for me. Okay. Who drives that fast at a red light? A lot of people. Too many people. Way too many people. Let me see. If you blow up the video, third car pulls up and you can see the flash. That is a very, you know what? Reverse. I just wish Sharp would have said that. You know what I'm saying? So I just wish Sharp would have said that. I think the third car, because of the angle of the shot, Shannon was side by side. Third car seems more likely. The third car was definitely not initially side by side. It was when I say definitely, from my perspective, it had stopped a little bit back. You know, like this is drinks, and the third car was a little bit back. Play into the U-turn. All right, y'all. I'm gonna play this one more time. Exactly. Big time flashes from the third car. If we can see, I don't know how. I can't make this any bigger. Can I? Let me see something. Nah, YouTube won't let me make it bigger. I could zoom in. Let me see if I could do something. I just don't know how I would share it with y'all, but I could make a video of this real quick. I think I could grab this and make it bigger if y'all want to bear with me. So I'm gonna replay this. I'm gonna see if I could grab and make it a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna replay this from here. So y'all can watch. If flashes came out of third car, then that would be
The car that just pulled up to the light now and stopped, that's the red vehicle.
This car right here?
Yes. The Audi, the first car to follow the red car out is the Audi, or the white Audi that's right next to it.
Right here?
Yes. And then the Ford Fusion is right to the right of that.
The only question I have for all my peoples here, y'all, how was Shannon? Don't we agree that Shannon was Drink's ops? Like Shard is gonna say that more or less. We're about to see that. How do y'all feel that Drinks just did? What was going on with Cuz that he didn't even see his ops next to him? That's my question. You know what I'm saying? Right. All right, Shannon and Nichols.
Now, is there traffic going in the opposite direction where the cars are stopped right now?
Yes.
There is a traffic light camera. They said it wasn't working.
Eastbound.
And so the car.
Everybody's gonna be saying that this. Not everybody. A few people are saying you can see muzzle flashes from this car. I certainly don't see anything. Let's look.
That's correct. It's red light now. And Audi.
This car right here.
Through the red light, as well as the white car, the Fusion.
So the Audi Fusion goes through the red light.
Well, the Audi
Hold up. Those flashes y'all saw.
Fusion is,
I always took that to be lights, headlights from people across the street. Shart said that they're ops. Where's the balance? Shart's going to say that. Shart doesn't use that phrasing, but we'll see it here shortly. Hold up.
Right here?
Yes. And then the Ford Fusion is right to the right of that.
Y'all, the flashes you think you're seeing are headlights from oncoming traffic, people.
Now, is there traffic going in the opposite direction where the cars are stopped right now?
Yes, there's traffic now trying to go on to I-20 eastbound.
I think the flashes you think you're seeing. Let me see.
That's correct. It's red light now. And
we are going to see some flashes.
Takes off through traffic, through the red light, as well as the white car, the Fusion.
So the Audi Fusion goes through the red light.
Well, the Audi did, yes, ma'am.
And was there still oncoming traffic coming, and they were going through that light?
Yes, there was.
No.
And then
you
that car
can't
did a U-turn,
tell.
which is a little.
You can't tell. It's inconclusive.
Odd.
I see what y'all talking about with the flashes, but it's just.
I don't know if what they witnessed or if they heard anything.
It's inconclusive.
Suspicious.
I see what you're talking about. I saw that yesterday.
Since the red car no longer does not move, and it was around the same time that the murder.
I saw that yesterday, y'all.
It's my assumption.
Were you able to locate or find it?
Say again?
Were you able to determine what vehicle that was?
No, ma'am. No.
Now, when you approached the vehicle, the red vehicle, when you got on scene, were there any?
That's it, y'all.
In the back of the vehicle?
Most were on the driver's side.
Driver's side, passenger side.
I'm sorry, the passenger side of it. Yes. I don't recall any in the rear.
And this is now the car still stationary.
Yes, it does not move anymore. It stays there till we get there.
The fourth car pulls off because they see the other car slow down and they hear shots. That's my speculation. I don't know.
Fast forward to 127.
My speculation is the car that bucks the U-turn, hears shots, sees the car in front of it slow down drastically or dramatically, and just out of, just not going more in that direction where I'm hearing gunfire and the person in front of me seems to have known something I don't know. I'm turning around because they turned around.
I don't see why not. Sure.
Could that be a reason?
So y'all, this is going to be sharp. Let me put this. I'm going to put it on 1.25 so we can get through it a little quicker. Let's answer some questions before we hear sharp. So y'all, the real reason I decided to do this is because do this live right now is because I really wanted us to gather all of the video evidence that the jury saw. And then I wanted us to hear what I want us to analyze what Shart has to say about the video evidence, because I left yesterday feeling like I didn't feel Shart addressed the video evidence well enough if I was a juror based on what I just saw. So while we here are doing a lot of talking about what we think, we have to think about being a juror who does not have the ability to go back and forth with the community about this and become convinced. The jury, as of now, can't talk about this to anybody. So all they have is what they saw, what their personal proclivities are, and then what Shannon is gonna, the cross-examination and whatnot. So with that said, can we poll? Oh yeah, we can do that. I'm a poll. So let me poll it right now. Give me a second. I'm gonna pull up a poll on reasonable doubt. That's a very good question. So y'all, can we do this though? Is it possible for people? This is what makes us humans, by the way, that we can put ourselves in other people's shoes. Is it possible for you to put yourself in a juror's shoes and say if there's reasonable doubt? It almost doesn't matter if you think there's reasonable doubt for you, because at the end of the day, that's not what this is about. So I'm gonna say, based on video evidence, as a juror, okay, do you have reasonable doubt? Y'all, please try to put yourself in the shoes of a person who did not have the benefit of talking this through. Try to put yourself in the position of a person who just saw the video evidence as of right now, as presented. Okay? Do you have reasonable doubt? That means, do you have a reason to doubt that Shannon did this, just as a juror having seen this? Okay, so it looks like yes is about to win, but yes is going down. So there's some no's coming through. We're going to continue, y'all. Good. Jeff Dollars, very good suggestion. So we have the poll.
Reason why someone would repeatedly rent cars for years.
Hold up.
Switch them up so people couldn't track him down and kill him. Could that be a reason?
Overruled.
Could that be a reason?
Sure.
How about an individual whose friends had just been gunned down 3 days prior? Could you envision a situation where that individual would want to rent a car so no one knows what he's driving?
Overruled.
Yes.
Okay. And tinted windows. You said tinted windows can be used to commit crimes because you can't see in as well. Could conceal an
All right,
identity.
y'all, a little bit of clarification. I remember Shard saying that drinks was associated with the people who killed Shannon's friends. Looks like Shard did not say that. So let me correct myself. I misremembered that. Shannon's friends were killed, but Sharp did not say that drinks had anything to do with it. So need to make that clarification.
Did he?
That's correct. That's what I said.
Kill you
No,
off of your scent, off of knowing what you're driving?
Yes.
no, the jurors cannot pause and rewind the video.
Sure.
How about an individual whose friends had just been gunned down 3 days prior? Could you envision a situation where that individual would want to rent a car so no one knows what he's driving?
Overruled.
Yes.
Okay. And tinted windows. You said tinted windows can be used to commit crimes because you can't see in as well. Could conceal an identity.
That's correct. That's what I said. Yes.
By that same logic, couldn't tinted windows keep people who are trying to kill you off of your scent, off of knowing what you're driving?
Yes.
Especially 3 days after they have murdered 2 of your friends in cold blood?
Sure.
Could that be another reason why someone would rent a car?
Yes.
Could that be a reason why someone would rent a car and break a rental agreement and put tint on those windows?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. This warrant that you took out, sir, for the rest of Mr. Stillwell, you charged him with murder, the murder of Shamal Drinks, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And you specifically charged him with the shooting of Shamal Drinks, correct?
I have to look at the wording, but I think he used the word partaking.
May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
So right now they can't rewind
Looking
and
at a
do all
copy
of this
the warrant that you
stuff.
took out, assist you in remembering the wording.
Sure.
Grab the wrong one.
I don't see why I don't think any of the brake light stuff is
And
convincing.
just refresh your recollection, and if after your recollection is refreshed, if you could look up.
Sure. Yes.
Okay, and in fairness, you did say participate
Yes.
in the warrant, but you said by shooting Shamel Drinks.
That's correct.
Okay, on 3/14/2022.
That's correct.
Okay, so specifically, your allegation in that warrant is that Mr. Stillwell was the shooter of Shamel Drinks, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And we've talked about some of the evidence that you think you have on this case. Let's just call it what it is. I know that we've been referring to the man in the pink hat, okay, or the man with the slime or die shirt. You have BP video from the corner of Windsor and Fulton Street, correct?
Yes.
Clear video.
It's very good. Yeah.
And it shows my client wearing a Pink Floyd hoodie and a pink hat. And it shows Mr. Guamarvius Nichols, correct?
Yes.
And it shows Mr. Miles Farley, correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And you had that video. And then you also have these rental records of renting the car on that day. Now, let me ask you this. Is there any indication at all, if we're talking about planning something, is there any indication at all that anyone would have known that Shamal Drinks was going to show up at the gas station at that time?
No. Not
Okay.
that I know of.
Okay. Do you know where Shamal Drinks was coming from?
No.
Okay. And then you have video from the FedEx, correct?
I do.
Okay. And that shows Windsor Street.
Yes.
And you maintain that that video shows that my client in his white Audi pulled up next to Shamal Drinks' car.
Yes.
And you maintain that that video shows that my client shot Shamal Drinks.
Participated. Yes.
Okay. I mean, your theory is that my client was driving.
Yes.
Okay. And your theory is that the shot was fired out of the driver's side of the car.
Oh, the Audi. Yes.
Yeah. Your theory is that Shannon Stillwell was in that white Audi and shot Shamal Drinks at that stoplight.
Yes.
And your contention is that video, that FedEx video, will back that up ultimately.
That's my conclusion from my investigation. Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's go back to where this investigation started. Evening of 3/14/22.
Okay.
Okay. And you see this red car with this gentleman inside who's sadly deceased, correct?
Yes.
And you arrived before the body was removed, correct?
That's right.
Okay. Now, this is your crime scene. I know that you weren't the first one there, were you?
No.
Okay, but this is your crime scene.
Yes.
So you're in charge of knowing the status of the crime scene and where everything was at the time it was first discovered.
Ultimately, yes, I am.
Okay. So let me ask you, the Nissan Versa, the red Nissan Versa, before anyone came to the assistance, before Mr. Cheeseborough showed up, was that car still on?
When I was there, I don't remember it being running, no.
No, I'm asking, since it's your crime scene, when the first people showed up, to your understanding, it's your investigation.
I wasn't.
Speculation calls for hearsay.
Is he the lead detective?
He is
Well, overruled on the speculation, and would your report contain all of that?
It doesn't, if the car was on or not. I know the lights were on. As far as the car was running, the door was open when I got there.
That's the next thing I'm going to ask you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not
Sounds
certain.
like he didn't know.
So you're not certain. Okay, so the car was running, or is
Obviously,
that what you're not certain of?
Obviously, it was running when he pulled into the stop line. When I got there, I don't recall if it was running. I know the lights were on, the door was open. I don't recall if the car was still running or not.
When you got there, the
When I
lights
got
of the
there.
car were on and the door was open.
The lights were on.
Right, the lights of the car were on and the door is open. When we say the door, we're talking about the driver's side
That's correct.
front door. Okay. Now my question is, before you got there, before anyone got there, was that door open? That front driver's side door to the Versa?
It's my understanding it stayed closed until the paramedics or EMTs opened the door to check on the victim.
Okay. How about Mr. Drinks's feet? Were they on the brake?
I believe they were, yes.
How about the gas? Was one foot on the brake and one foot on the gas?
I don't recall that.
You don't know, or are you saying no, that's not true?
I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. And when one of your first tasks was to determine the identity of this gentleman, correct?
It's one of the first things, yes.
Okay, and you weren't the only one there. There were other officers there, correct?
Yes.
And among those officers was representative from the gang unit, correct?
Yes.
Okay, Investigator Flores?
May have been. I don't recall.
Okay. Either way, even with the assistance of the gang unit on scene and all APD resources, no one recognized this gentleman, Mr. Drinks.
He was not identified until we did the fingerprint scan.
Right. And that was about 1:06 a.m. that next morning, correct?
It was while we were on scene. I don't know exactly what time it was.
Okay. Fair enough. Miss Hilton, if you could do me a favor, please. Could you publish? I'm sorry, Mr. Body said he was going to help me. You're going to help me with something else. Thank you. 107 Victor. Thank you, Miss Knight. Cell phone. Do you see that cell phone in Exhibit 107 Victor?
Is it the one in the pocket there? Is that what that is? Yes, I see it. Oh, it's on his arm. I do, yes. Plugged in.
Did you see that cell phone?
I did, yes.
Okay. As an investigator of homicides, do you often collect cellular phones?
Yes.
And that's from victims and suspects, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And in reality is cell phones, if you're able to get into the cell phones and have authorization to get into cell phones, they have a wealth of information, correct?
Sometimes they do, yes.
They can have call logs. They can have contacts, correct?
Yes.
They can potentially have tracking information, who you're in contact with. Places you've been.
Yes.
You can learn a lot about a person from a cell phone, correct?
Yes, you can.
You can learn who their friends are.
Yes.
You can learn who their enemies are, potentially.
Potentially, yes.
Okay. In this case, as a lead investigator, you are aware that actually 2 cell phones belonging to my client have been seized in this case, correct?
I believe so, yes.
And their contents have been extracted, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Mr. Drinks, as lead investigator, did you ask the crime scene tech or crime scene tech Davis or any other individuals to seize or to collect Mr. Drinks' cell phone?
Yes.
Okay. And were you ever able to analyze the contents of Mr. Drinks' cell phone?
I don't recall that now.
Okay. You don't recall ever seeing the contents?
No.
Okay. So as far as you recall, we don't know who is in Mr. Drinks' contacts.
No.
We don't know what he's been texting about leading up to this incident.
No, I'm not aware of it.
We don't know of anyone that he's had disagreements with or squabbles with or anything like that from his cell phone.
I'm not aware of any of that, no.
Okay. And you're not aware because not saying that none of that exists in his cell phone, but you just haven't seen the contents of his cell phone.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. I want to talk to you about these videos, if that's okay.
Sure.
And Mr. Abate, I'm going to ask you to just be on standby in case I need to publish anything. Thank you. Detective, we have the BP video,
That's correct.
several different camera angles,
That's correct.
okay? Including outside of the pumps, inside the store from different angles,
That's correct.
okay? We have the King's Liquor video,
Yes.
surveillance video, and then we have the FedEx video.
That's correct.
Okay, let's talk about the BP video first, and I'm not going to replay all the videos. You see my client, Shannon Stillwell, in the pink hoodie and pink hat, arrive in the white Audi, correct?
Yes.
In the white Audi that was rented in his name,
That's correct.
and the white Audi that he told Investigator Viverito on March 16th, yeah, that's the Audi I'm driving, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, and it did have tinted windows, didn't it?
Yes.
All right. You see him arrive at the store, and then you see Mr. Kumarvius Nichols arrive in a Ford Fusion shortly thereafter, correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Nichols pumps gas.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Farley is an occupant of Mr. Nichols' car, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, they all enter the store. They're on video.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Farley's wearing a slime or die shirt.
That's correct.
Okay. Do you know anything about Mr. Farley's background or history?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you know that he's a clothing designer?
No idea.
That he creates those shirts, those slime shirts, and sells them to the public?
Okay.
Okay. You were not aware of that before today?
No, sir.
Okay. So you see those three individuals go in and out of the store. First, you see Mr. Nichols go up to the register with Mr. Stillwell, correct?
That's correct.
All right. And in these videos, in all these videos, you don't see anyone with a handgun or anything like that.
No, sir.
You don't see anyone that seems to be irate or upset, do you?
No.
Well, maybe some people in the store, but not these three individuals.
That's correct. Yes.
All right. You see Mr. Nichols make a purchase and buy some gum for Mr. Stillwell, correct?
He bought something for him. I couldn't tell what it was.
Okay.
But yeah, he did. buy
And this is
something.
the first time Mr. Nichols was in the store before he pumped his gas,
That's
correct?
correct. That's correct.
And you see Mr. Nichols joking around with the clerk, acting like he's pulling out all these bills.
Right.
And then you see Mr. Farley come in,
Yes.
and you see Mr. Stillwell turn around on Mr. Farley and act like a monster and kind of scare
Right.
Mr.
Mhm.
Farley, and Mr. Farley does this weird pirouette.
Right. Yes.
They're playing around.
That's correct.
Okay. Everyone seems, from the video, no one seems upset.
No.
Okay. Later on, you see Mr. Nichols come back in the store to make another purchase, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what he purchases?
No.
Okay. Ms. Hilton, I'm going to ask if you could play the video of where Mr. Nichols comes into the store for the second time and makes a purchase. If you could play that. Are you able to see what he is purchasing?
It looked to me to be like some black and milds, maybe.
Okay.
That's a guess. I don't know.
Okay, appreciate that answer. And I know that it's noted that it's just a guess. And you can stop. Thank you. Your Honor, may I approach with DS56?
You may.
Sir, I'm approaching you with what's marked as DS56. Do you recognize that image?
Yeah, it's an image from the series of video we just watched.
Okay, that's a still image from the video we just watched?
It appears to be so, yes.
Okay, and is that a fair and accurate representation of the video we just watched?
Sure.
Image from the video we just watched?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Your Honor, at this time, I would move to admit DS56 in evidence.
No objection.
It's admitted.
Permission to publish?
You may.
Could those be backwoods blunts?
Yes.
Okay, and do you know what backwoods are?
So like a little cigar, isn't it? Something like that.
Okay, is it also something from your experience that can be gutted and used to roll a marijuana blunt?
Yes.
Okay, how long, to your knowledge, if you know, have you ever seen anyone, we'll just say on video, through police, through detective work, have you ever seen anyone roll a marijuana blunt?
I'm aware of how it's done. I've never witnessed it.
Okay, it takes some time, correct?
I would
Depending on
assume-
how experienced you are?
Yeah, I would assume it would, yes.
Okay, and is this purchase made right before Mr. Nichols returns to his car?
Yes.
When he's sitting there for like 4 minutes as idle, as Miss Hilton said?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know, yes or no, whether what was going on in that car with Mr. Nichols was Mr. Nichols was sitting there using those backwoods to roll himself a marijuana blunt? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay, thank you. Okay, in the entire BP video, we see Shamal Drinks show up, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and again, no indication that anyone was expecting him to show up.
No.
Okay. While Shamal Drinks was present at the BP, he walks into the store, correct?
He does.
How many times does he walk in the store? Once or twice?
Just once.
Okay, and he makes a purchase,
Correct.
and there's apparently some other man on the video that's trying to steal some condoms or something, and the clerk is having a problem with him, correct?
Yeah, there's a little kerfuffle.
I mean,
Okay, so
sustained.
do you see a man getting into it with the clerk and then suddenly pulling condoms out of his pocket and throwing them back at the cashier?
I remember that interaction. I don't know his condoms, but yeah.
Okay, and then Mr. Drinks has some interaction with that individual, and they leave together out the store.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know who that person is? The person that Mr. Drinks was interacting with?
Do not.
Okay. Have you ever interviewed the clerk about what was going on in the store?
No.
Do you know who the clerk was?
No.
Okay. Throughout the entire time that Mr. Drinks is on the video, and quite frankly, Mr. Stillwell is on the video at the BP, Mr. Farley, or Mr. Nichols, do you see any interaction between Mr. Drinks and any of those three individuals?
No.
Do you see any hostility between Mr. Drinks and those three individuals?
No.
Okay, Mr. Drinks was having some hostility with the clerk, right?
He was observing that, but yes.
Okay, but not with these individuals. You don't see any mean looks or anything, do you?
No.
Okay. So then we go to the King liquor store video,
Gotcha.
okay? And just to be clear, do you know how we have timestamps on some of these videos and no timestamps on other videos, right?
Yes.
Okay. The videos that have timestamps, and I understand that King Liquor and the BP are under the same management, right? You don't know.
Not privy. It makes sense, but
Okay.
I'm not privy to that.
All right, but do you have any reason to believe that the BP video, the timestamps would match perfectly with the timestamps, or they're perfectly synced up with the FedEx video, for instance?
I don't know.
Okay, and do you have any reason to believe that any of these videos would be perfectly synced up with phone records or anything like that, like records held by Sprint or another phone company?
No.
In your experience as an investigator, businesses that have these surveillance systems, there are times, you can get an hour of footage, but the time on that footage can be off, correct?
It can be, yes. If not set correctly, yes.
Okay. All right. In the BP video, besides the Ford Fusion, the Nissan Versa, and the Audi, did you know any other vehicles of interest that piqued your curiosity in the BP video?
No.
Okay. How about in the King's Liquor video when you see 3 cars driving up Windsor Street? Did you see any other cars that piqued your curiosity?
No.
Okay.
Y'all, I'm gonna say something here, and I think I have a theory now, but I don't know. I don't know. Y'all heard Shark just ask, did any other cars pique your curiosity? Shark also wanted to drill down on this idea that the report was written that Shannon had participated in Drink's murder. And what if Shark has reason to believe that somebody else did it, but that due to the street code, he can't just come out and, of course, Shark couldn't just say that anyway, but he can't go but so far with this type of questioning, because at some point you get into the telling, not telling as in objection, Your Honor, but telling as in street code type of telling. It for everybody here who thinks that the third car did it, or that some other set of circumstances led to this, you would still have to believe reasonably that Shannon probably knows who did it, right? I mean, it's the idea that you have reasonable doubt if Shannon himself did it, fine. But if you're going to also say Shannon might not even know the people in the third car, that might have just, it's like, come on now. Like, seriously, like now we're just getting into like, it's too far. You're stretching me too far. So if you want to say the third car might have done it, that was the reasonable doubt that I have now. That is my reasonable doubt. Not necessarily that the third car did it, but I can see that it could have been that third car. Okay, fine. So that's a reasonable doubt. And you don't have to get that reasonable doubt, you don't have to know who that person was. You don't have to know their name. You don't have to know what problem they had with drinks. You don't have to know anything. It's just a reasonable doubt. It is. It's reasonable. But I would imagine if you're Shannon, and probably if you're Shark, you would know if that third car did it. And if the third car did it, Shannon couldn't say, hey, get up there and lead him into saying that, Buck did it in the third, because then that would be like snitching. So if you listen, you'll hear Shark place this reasonable doubt, at least try to, but it seems like he's a little bit hampered by some outside force.
The BP video, the timestamps would match perfectly with the timestamps. They're perfectly synced up with the FedEx video, for instance.
I don't know.
Okay. And do you have any?
Sanita, the fact we don't know when the shots rang out. So would you just pull up and say something and then shoot? Would you pull up and want to get the final words in before you shoot? Would you pull up and just start shooting? I can see it either way.
Any reason to believe that any of these videos would be perfectly synced up with phone records or anything like that, like records held by Sprint or another phone company?
No.
In your experience as an investigator, businesses that have these surveillance systems, their times, you can get an hour of footage, but the time on that footage can be.
Did I go back too
correct?
far?
It can be, yes.
Okay.
Not set correctly, yes.
Okay. All right. In the BP video, besides the Ford Fusion, the Nissan Versa, and
Listen.
And the Audi, did you know any other vehicles of interest?
Y'all see that he's trying to give this. We noticed a vehicle of interest when the guy got out the passenger side and walked around and got in the driver's side. You literally never see that happen in real life. So We noticed a vehicle of interest. So basically what they're doing here, what's up, Lou? Basically what Shark's doing here is he's just trying not to snitch, it sounds like.
To pique your curiosity
He's trying not to
in the
snitch.
BP video.
No.
Why didn't he point it out? Why didn't Shark say, well, what about this guy? Because that would have been snitching. What do y'all think about that? Why didn't Shark say, let's go to the BP video and take a look at this guy? Did you notice this guy got out of the passenger seat, walked around and got in the driver's seat? Snitching. Does that seem like maybe what's happening here?
How about in the King's Liquor video when you see 3 cars driving up Windsor Street? Did you see any other cars that piqued your curiosity?
Try not to snitch on the guy who did it. Okay. Oh, yeah, Lou, happy birthday, bro.
Let's talk about the FedEx video. We do see the red Versa go up to the left lane, correct?
Yes, we do.
And we do see what appears to be the white Audi, and especially when you link it up with the BP video, end up in the center lane, correct?
That's correct.
And then we do see the white Ford Fusion end up in the right lane.
Yes.
And we do see the white Audi run a red light, don't we?
We do.
Okay.
Sorry.
Do you know anything about the history of the attempts on Mr. Stillwell's life?
I do not.
Okay. You don't know that in 2015, a car gunned up behind him or sped up behind the car that he was in and riddled the back of that car with bullet holes?
Objection said he doesn't know about any of this.
Sustained.
Have you ever heard the name T.R. Jones?
No.
Anyways, you see Mr. Stillwell run that red light in the white Audi.
I do, yes.
And then you see Mr. Nichols in the Ford Fusion run the same red light.
Yes.
Okay, cool. In that video, we see I'll get there in a second. Let's talk about LPRs. Detective Bender helped you with the LPRs in this case, correct?
She did, yes.
And you consider this an important part of police work because you're able to track the movements of specific cars.
Yes.
And you at that time felt that the white Audi was a suspect car, correct?
I did.
And you wanted to track its movements.
Yes.
And you thought the white Ford Fusion was a suspect car.
I did.
And you wanted to track its movements.
I did.
And Detective Bender was able to get you all that information about the movements of those cars, or I shouldn't say movements, but different places in time and different times where the LPRs picked up those license plates throughout those 2 days that you ran. I believe it was 2 days.
Yes. Whatever she found, she was able to identify the tag numbers and the cars and where they were. Yes.
Okay. As lead investigator, besides the Versa, besides the Audi, and besides the Fusion, did you ask Detective Bender to run LPRs on any other specific cars that you may or may not have seen in any of those videos?
I couldn't ask her to run something I didn't see, and there was no other cars. No.
No other cars that piqued your interest?
No, sir.
Okay.
Y'all see? So this is what I didn't get yesterday. So when I was forming my opinion yesterday, I was not looking intently at every car and seeing that there was another white car that Miles talked to, that there was a car that some guy got out of the passenger seat and got into the driver's seat. Someone here said that they do that with their wife. Listen, I'm not saying nobody ever does that, but at a gas station, you're going to pull up to a gas station with your wife, switch seats like that. Nobody goes in the gas station. You're not picking anybody up. You don't buy anything. You pull up to a gas pump to switch seats like that and then just pull off. That's suspicious. Okay. It's suspicious when you're talking about analyzing that a murder happened. It doesn't mean they did it. No, doesn't mean it had anything to do with it. But Shard is planting the seed. This is the only issue I have with this is he's not pulling up the video. Like he has all of this video evidence that he could be pointing out to the jury. Like y'all have been pointing out to me, like y'all have changed my opinion. And the only thing that I don't get is why is Shark not pointing this out? Like, do you see this? It might be because the shooter is on that video and Sharp just can't do it because that would be snitching. Like, that's the only thing I can think is that if Sharp were to stop and say, do you see this? There would be a rack of people in Atlanta like, oh, that's such and such. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would know who that is. And by Sharp pointing it out, that could be problems for Shannon. I don't know. That's the only reason I can think, because if not, why isn't he pointing out this stuff in the video so that the jury can see it? The jury can see this. They'll say, oh, yeah, there's my reasonable doubt. I see this guy. That doesn't look right. That looks strange. But if the shooter literally, or the person who's in the car with the shooter, gets out and is on camera, and then Sharp says, do you see that? There's going to be people in Atlanta like, yo, what Buck doing? I'm not saying that guy's name is Buck. I'm just making up a name. They say, well, what Buck doing there? And then Sharp, by developing that theory, could be implicating the true shooter. You see, or implicating somebody who wasn't the shooter, you know what I'm saying, but who doesn't want to be implicated. So that's my only thing, is like, why isn't he pointing this stuff out on the actual video? That's what I don't get. And the only thing I can think right now is because he doesn't want to implicate humans.
All right. You were able to obtain the rental agreement for this Audi, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you're aware that Mr. Stillwell rented this car on 3/14 at approximately 3 in the afternoon?
Well, let me check. Yes. That's correct.
And you are aware that he gave all of his personal information, his license, his signature, his phone number, his address. He appeared on surveillance at the Alamo. He did all those things while renting that car.
Yes.
And you're aware that in the early morning of March 16th, which would be 2 days after this incident, Investigator Viverito and Investigator Flores spoke to him in the back of a police car after the house he was in was shot up, correct?
Yes.
And they took pictures, right?
Yes.
And you're aware that he told Investigator Viverito, yes, that's the car I'm driving.
He did.
And you're also aware from the Alamo records that later on March 16th, 2022, he actually called Alamo to extend his rental on that car until March 20th, correct?
I wasn't aware of that.
Okay. Could you look at your investigative summary, if you would?
Good point. That could be it. That could definitely be it. Very good point.
And I'm going to refer you to page 19.
Okay.
Okay. Does page 19, it's page 19 of 25.
Yeah, at the very top you're talking about?
I'm about 2/3 of the way down. Do you see a notation, 16 March 2022, 1337? Shannon wants to extend the rental or the rent.
Yes, I do see that.
Okay. And then at 1337, they talk about a rate, and then Shannon agrees.
That's correct.
Okay. So under your theory, my client appeared on video at the BP with this rental, is on video shooting man out of the driver's side of this rental. And then 2 days later is telling Investigator Viverito, that's my car, right?
Yes.
And then also later on March 16th, seeks not to get rid of this car, but to extend the rental.
It appears so, yes, sir.
Okay. All right, let's talk about gunshot residue. Gunshot, you testified earlier in this case, and we talked a little bit about gunshot residue, right?
Yeah, we did.
And you said you got to be careful about gunshot residue because of the false positives.
Right. Yeah, he could be
Okay.
anywhere in the room. If a gunshot goes off, we all in here would have gunshot residue on us.
Right. We're talking about microscopic particles
That's correct.
that are expelled out of a vehicle, out of a firearm when a firearm is shot.
That's right.
Okay. And these particles are expelled in a way that you just said, if someone shot a gun in here, we could all have gunshot residue on us.
That's correct.
Okay, and that would be unfair if I shot a gun to say, well, you have gunshot residue on you, because that would be a false positive on you.
That's correct.
Okay, but gunshot residue does detect if a gunshot was fired in the area, correct?
Yes, it's evidence of that a gunshot was in the area, right?
All right, especially in fabrics and cloth and things of that nature, correct?
I'm not that would make sense to me, but I'm not an expert on it. But yes.
Okay. Well, those type of materials would not be subject to something like hands, where you could sweat the gunshot residue off, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And in this case, that FedEx video that you viewed, we see traffic lights, right?
Yes.
We can see brake lights, correct?
Yes.
We can see headlights, correct?
Yes.
What we don't see is a muzzle flash, do we?
No.
Okay. Now, you testified about shell casings.
Yep.
And you said you looked all over for shell casings on the scene.
We did. Yes.
And shell casings are the cartridges that are expelled when a gun is fired.
That's correct.
Okay. And there were at least 2 or 3 shots fired just from looking at Mr. Drinks' the red Versa, correct?
At least, yes.
Okay. So you were looking for 2 or 3 or possibly more shell casings on the road, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you didn't find any.
None.
And your conclusion was, of course, maybe you missed them. That's always a possibility. But the other possibility, as you stated in direct, is the person who's shooting the gun didn't put the gun outside of the car where you would see the muzzle flash. The gun was actually inside the car when it was fired, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And if the gun is inside the car, that would cause gunshot residue to be spread throughout the car,
You assume so, yes. Sir.
including the headliner, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You decided to collect the headliner.
Say again?
Well, let me ask you that because I don't know that for certain. You worked along with CS crime scene technician Antoinette Green to process this car, correct? The car being the Audi. Mr. Stillwell was arrested
Yes.
on March
I'm
17th.
trying to recall, because it's not in my report. I knew you were going to, but I don't. Do you have anything to refresh my memory? Do you have a crime scene report with my name on it? Because I don't.
I don't have anything written by you, sir.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, but let's try to work through this. On March 17th, you know that Mr. Stillwell was arrested on the warrant state that you brought on March 16th.
Yes.
Okay, and he was arrested in Atlanta. He wasn't in another state or anything like that, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. And when he was arrested, he was actually still in the white Audi that he had extended the rental for, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And the Audi was collected as evidence, correct? Brought to police impound.
That's procedure. Yes.
Okay. Are you not aware that crime scene technician Green, do you know who Antoinette Green is? Is she a crime scene technician with APD?
Yes.
Are you aware that she processed that car?
I don't recall for sure. I know I've done several cars with her before, but in this particular case, I don't recall being with her to process the car.
Understood.
This particular car.
Do you recall a headliner was collected in this case, correct? You do know that.
I do not.
You don't know that the headliner of the Audi was collected as evidence in this case and analyzed?
It makes sense that it would be, but I don't.
Okay.
I don't recall that. No, sir.
In your experience, your expertise as an investigator, a homicide investigator, a headliner would be a very appropriate piece of the car to collect to check for gunshot residue.
Again, yes, sir. It makes sense. I'm sorry, I don't recall.
And it should have gunshot residue in it if a gun is fired from within that car, correct?
If it has not been cleaned, yes.
Okay. All right. Do you know, as we sit here today, whether or not a GBI analyst tested that headliner for gunshot residue?
Do not.
You don't know what the results are either, do you?
No, sir.
Okay. You took out warrants on March 16th, 2022 at 6:39 p.m., correct? For my client as well as Mr. Nichols and Mr. Farley.
Yes, well, 6:40 PM, but yeah.
Okay, 6:40 p.m.
On the
And that
16th,
was
16th, yeah.
And that was right after, or shortly after you had that conversation with Investigator Viverito in police headquarters, where she identified the people that were in the BP
That's
video.
correct. I heard
Okay.
the Sergeant Belknap, yes.
So once you had an identification from the BP, that's when you move forward with the arrest warrants against Mr. Stillwell.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to talk to you about your analysis of the FedEx video. You have your report in front of you, correct?
I do.
At the time that you swore out these warrants against Mr. Stillwell, you had never even viewed that FedEx video, had you?
I don't think I got that till afterwards. I did speak with a representative who described it to me and sent me some still shots.
Okay. And I'm gonna go to page 14, going into 15 of your investigative report.
Okay.
On page 14, going to 15, you write, as of the writing of this report, and this report was written on 3/20/22, correct?
Well, that's when I started it, but yeah.
Okay, so you started this report 4 days after you you obtained the arrest warrants for Mr. Stillwell.
That's correct.
You started this report 4 days after that. Okay,
Yes.
And-
This part, now I had notes and all that stuff, but
understood. And you say, as of the writing of this report, the actual video from FedEx has been requested via a subpoena, but has not been received. The above pictures were sent to me by a FedEx corporate officer who told me that he had watched a video which shows that the two white cars pulled up alongside the red Nissan, forming a straight line across the road. And then suddenly the two white cars sped away against the red light and the red car stays in place. That's verbatim from your report, correct?
yes, sir.
And your report is accurate to that fact.
It is, yes.
You, at the time of writing this report, and certainly at the time of bringing out warrants against my client, you had not watched that FedEx video.
No,
But you had spoken to someone at FedEx corporate that sent you some still pictures, correct?
that's correct.
And had told you what they felt they saw on that video, correct?
That's correct.
Who was that FedEx corporate officer who analyzed this FedEx video?
I don't remember.
Do you know that person have any law enforcement training?
Not familiar with it.
Okay. Do you know how many times that person watched that video before giving you his or her conclusions about what the FedEx video contained?
No,
Okay. When did you finally receive the FedEx video?
I don't recall exactly when I got it.
Do you remember what month?
No, I don't remember.
When did you remember when you first watched that FedEx video?
I've seen it several times, but I don't remember when I first saw it. No,
Was it months after bringing up these arrest warrants on Mr. Stillwell?
no, it wasn't months. It was a few days probably. But
Well, a few days would have been 4 days afterwards you started writing this report, and you didn't even have the FedEx video then. So could it have been longer than a few days before you watched the video?
it could have. Yes, it could have been.
Okay. And of course, you brought those warrants on March 16th, 2022, without any gunshot residue results from that white Audi.
That's correct.
You said you saw a car in that video, the FedEx video. Ms. Hilton, could you play the FedEx video for me? Thank you. And it can be 101:20. We can start.
Yeah, I don't buy the clean.
I think it's fair to say you saw a car making a U-turn on the video, and you saw it was a little odd.
Yes.
It piqued your interest.
Well, it just, yeah, it did. I wouldn't say it piqued my interest. It just went with the situation, I guess.
I think you said you thought on direct, you testified, you thought that the person driving that car may have heard or seen something, correct?
Yes, I did.
And the reason you say that is because that person driving that car abruptly made a U-turn.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. If we could go to 10120, yeah, just. That's that's the red Versa pulling up, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that would be the white Audi,
Yes,
and that would be the white Fusion pulling up on the right lane, correct?
that's correct.
That's not the car that makes the U-turn, is it?
No, sir, I don't believe so.
Okay. And Mr. Stillwell is now running the light. He's no longer there, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. We see. Now this car pulls up. It makes that interesting U-turn, correct?
Yes, sir.
Your determination is maybe they did that because they may have seen or heard something, correct?
Maybe.
Okay. I have no further questions. Thank you.
And Ms. Weinstein. Redirect.
Y'all, that's what Shard is saying, y'all. In my opinion, my interpretation, Shard is, so I missed it. So first of all, I'm very open when I'm wrong. So I was wrong about a few things, and I must have spaced out, or I just didn't get where Shard was going. So one thing I totally missed was the third car. Totally spaced on that yesterday. People, I saw it on Twitter, so I spaced out on that one. 2, because I didn't see the third car, or I didn't take notice of it. Sure, I saw it, but I didn't take any notice of it. I also didn't take notice of what Sharp was implying here. That's why I wanted to. This is the reason for the live this morning, so we could rewatch the video and then see what Sharp said immediately thereafter, because I knew I must have spaced out because I just didn't assimilate that third car was even there. So when I'm seeing this on Twitter, I'm like, okay, I must have been spaced out. Maybe I was typing, maybe I was talking, who knows? Now that I see the third car, and now that I see the way that Sharp ends this little segment, and we'll play this again, it's clear what he's saying.
It makes that interesting U-turn, correct?
Yes, sir.
So he's saying my client's already gone, and this car makes a U-turn, and it looks like something happened after my client was gone.
Your determination is maybe they did that because they may have seen or heard something, correct?
Maybe.
Okay. I have no further questions. Thank you.
Okay, so I do think there's reasonable doubt, but I do think also that Sharp, in his case in chief, it would be good for him to come back around and present not just what he said today, but sow more doubt in the jury's mind. But whoever says Sharp has his case in chief, you're totally right. So he gets that opportunity. Whoever said the third car, many people said that. I spaced on it. Sharp didn't space on it, but he also, as you notice, he didn't go into it like, you know what I'm saying? He didn't dig into it. He danced around it. But he did talk about it, so I spaced out. I think that Drinks was another point where I was wrong. I'm not going to say I'm wrong on this one yet. We're going to see what Hilton says about Drinks and Shannon. I think she mentioned something. But as far as the third car, I spaced. I didn't see it. I do think that's enough for reasonable doubt. But I do think Sharp wants to come back and sow that doubt more profoundly and get it in there, get it more ingrained. But I do think it's there. I do totally think it's there.
And Ms. Weinstein. Redirect.
I actually want to start right here at the FedEx video. Was there anything in the video, once you actually watched it, that was inconsistent with what you were told by the FedEx person?
No, ma'am.
In the video we just watched, prior to Mr. Stillwell fleeing into the red light, was the white Fusion and the Audi stopped for a moment before fleeing into oncoming traffic?
Yes.
Should have objected right there to the word fleeing. Makes you sound guilty.
Now, Mr. Shard asked you a number of reasons as to why a person may rent a vehicle. Do you remember him asking you that?
I do, yes.
Or why they may put tint on a window? Do you remember him asking you a series of questions?
Yes.
Can a person place tinted windows on a rental car to conceal themselves in an attempt to seek revenge on the person that they think may have killed their 2 friends 3 days before?
Yes.
That's where my ops comment comes from, y'all. Okay? That's where my ops comment comes from. So it wasn't Shard who said it. It was Hilton who said it.
Mr. Shard asked you a series of questions about whether or not someone may be rolling a blunt in a car or things of that nature. Do you know if while they were sitting in the car, both the individuals in the Audi and the individuals in the Ford Fusion, if they were maybe talking to each other in the car? Do you know if they were doing that?
I do not know.
Do you know if the people in both cars were on FaceTime with each other?
I do not know.
Do you know if the individuals were in the car planning at that time to kill someone? Do you know if that was happening?
I do not know.
Mr. Stillwell, the Audi was backed in. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And if the Audi was backed in, did they have the vantage point of seeing Mr. Drinks when his car pulled into the gas station?
Yes.
Did the Audi, because it was backed in, have the vantage point to see Mr. Drinks as he walked into the gas station?
They did, yes.
Did the Audi, because of his vantage point, see when Mr. Drinks left the gas station and got back into his car?
Yes.
And was it the Audi that immediately pulled off once Mr. Drinks' car pulled off?
Yes.
And then the Fusion followed?
That's correct.
And that was the same vehicle in which Mr. Jackson, it appeared, was the driver?
That's correct.
Mr. Shard asked you a number of questions about the facial features of, I think, both Mr. Nichols and Mr. Stillwell while they were inside of the gas station. Do you remember him asking a series of questions about that?
Yes.
Do you know what their facial expressions looked like while they were in the tinted vehicle?
No.
Do you know if, as they saw Shamel Drink walking into the car, that their facial expressions changed from what they looked like inside of the BP gas station?
I think we're getting to that side evidence. It's complete speculation at this point.
Sustained.
Now, I want to show you what's already been admitted as State's Exhibit 118 BV. And I'm going to go to 9:49 p.m. to read. And does that read say Windsor Street and Richardson Avenue?
It does, yes.
And is that location that's not too far from the BP gas station?
That's correct, yes.
And at what time is the Audi passing the LPR reader on Windsor and Richardson Street?
9:49 with 6 seconds.
And Mr. Shard asked you whether or not the surveillance video camera times are accurate. We're looking at this time here at 9:49 and looking at the surveillance video timestamp, especially at the BP. Would that help you determine if whether or not the BP gas station video was accurate or not?
Yes.
Okay. And based on looking at both the LPR reader and the timestamps on the BP video, are those times, do they seem to be accurate?
They seem to be similar, yes. They're not exact, but they are similar.
Okay. And about how far would you say that Richardson and Windsor is from where that BP gas station is?
Not far. It kind of depends on traffic and the light, but anywhere from a few seconds to a minute or two.
Okay. Now, Mr. Shar asked you about the headliner and gunshot residue. Do you remember those series of questions?
I do.
If a car is cleaned, could that remove any GSR that may have been in the car?
From what I understand, yes.
Now, looking at the BP video and FedEx, did any other car besides the white Audi and the white Fusion that immediately followed the red Versa, was there any other car that immediately followed the red Versa out of the BP gas station?
No, ma'am.
Were there any other cars that pulled up right next to the red Versa outside of the Audi and the BP and the Fusion?
No.
That's just factually false. Listen to that last question again. What is going on here? Am I tripping? No court today. That's why we're doing this. Am I tripping? Listen to this question.
Were there any other cars that pulled up right next to the red Versa outside of the Audi and the BP and the Fusion?
No.
Was it after the Audi and the Fusion pulled up right?
What? She asks, did any other car pull up next to the red Versa besides the Audi and the Fusion? This guy says no, but we just watched that the answer is yes. So is he mistaken? What is going on here? This is a very important question. This is a key question. This is of monumental importance.
Versa out of the BP gas station.
No, ma'am.
Okay, no other car followed the Versa out of the BP. Okay. So we didn't see any other car that looked like, followed. Y'all hear these words she's using? Followed. Flee. So when you say follow, you're following somebody. Well, okay, maybe there's not a better word for that. But flee, she said Shannon fled. Fleeing. You know what I'm saying? So this is why yesterday I was left with I just felt that Sharp left so much on the table. I don't get it. Maybe he's waiting for his case in chief. Maybe that's it. Because I'm like, there's so much Sharp could be doing here. You know what I'm saying?
Really followed the red Versa. Was there any other car that immediately followed the red Versa?
Okay, she said immediately followed.
No, ma'am.
That's okay. I'll let that.
Were there any other cars that pulled up right next to the red Versa outside of the Audi and the BP and the Fusion?
No.
This is wrong. And it's very big.
Was it after the Audi and the Fusion pulled up right next to the red Versa, and after they left, the red Versa just sat there for about 27 minutes?
That's correct.
Hold up again.
After the Audi and the Fusion pulled up right next to the red Versa, and after they left, the red Versa just sat there for about 27 minutes.
That's correct.
Okay. I'll accept that.
The damage on the red Versa, is that all on the driver's side, on the passenger side of the red Versa?
That's correct.
And is that the side of the vehicle closest to the driver's side, where the driver's side of the Audi would have been?
Yes.
The problem is that she literally doesn't acknowledge that third car that pulls up literally within 2 seconds of the Audi pulling off. He literally just rewrote history. He just rewrote history, y'all. He just rewrote history, and this is very important because that third car stopped, and you don't know if they would have seen something. You don't know if they did something. A lot of people here are theorizing that was the shooter, but he just rewrote that history that third car didn't even pull up when it did, and we all see it.
Now, Mr. Short asked you a number of questions. Why would someone keep the rental car, or why would they say that the car was their car with a car in the name? Do you remember some questions similar?
Y'all, that's getting clipped and put on Twitter today. That's something I didn't see anybody else point out. that this guy just said that third car didn't show up. And of course, we seen it show up a million times now.
At the time in which Investigator Viverito was speaking to Mr. Jackson at the house that got shot up, had you and Investigator Viverito talked about your investigation?
No,
Had you shown Investigator Viverito your surveillance video by the time that she was talking to Mr. Stillwell at that house?
no,
Prior to talking to Investigator Viverito, did you know that there was a white Audi at a house that was recently just shot up?
no,
Did you know that Mr. Stillwell was in a pink Floyd shirt prior to talking to Investigator Viverito while she spoke with him at the house that got shot up?
no,
Did you know that Miles Farley was with him at the house that just got shot up in the same clothes prior to talking to Investigator Viverito?
no,
Were you ever made aware of an individual by the name of Demekion Garlington was also at the house along with Miles Farley and Shannon when Investigator Viverito spoke with them?
no,
With the red Versa, did you ever learn if that was a rental car or not?
No. It was. I don't believe it was. I believe it belonged to one of his family members.
Okay.
I believe it belonged to one of Mr. Drake's family members. The red car, I think, if I recall right.
Did the Versa have any tinted windows?
No.
Court's indulgence for one moment.
Fannie did win re-election, yeah. This is all they have, Ron. So once Shart has a lot more, he has a lot more terrain. He can rip this apart. I didn't see it yesterday, y'all. I mean, point blank, I'm admitting it. I didn't see it. Not until I hopped on Twitter and I started looking at people's analysis did I get it. We're about to, after this, y'all, I'm going to go over one other thing. We're going to talk about something also that I saw on Twitter. I'm going to show you all that in just a few minutes.
Mr. Shard asked you about Mr. Stillwell's conversations with Investigator Viverito at the home. Do you remember him asking you about the conversation Mr. Stillwell had with Investigator Viverito when she met with him at the house?
Yes.
To your knowledge, did Mr. Stillwell ever tell Investigator Viverito why he had tinted windows on a rental vehicle?
No.
Did he ever tell Investigator Viverito why he put tints on the car within a few hours of renting the vehicle?
Objection, Your Honor. That's not necessary.
Sustained.
Mr. Shar asked you about seeing a muzzle flash at the light. Did you see any muzzle flashes at all on that surveillance video?
I looked for him, couldn't see any, no.
But was there still a deceased individual sitting at that light once you arrived on the scene?
Yes.
And do you have any knowledge if Mr. Stillwell told Investigator Viverito when he put those tints on his vehicle?
I do not.
I have no further questions.
Recess.
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, you're excused. I believe y'all got one more witness.
All right, y'all. So I'm gonna withdraw my conclusion that there's no reasonable doubt I'm withdrawing that based on what everybody has pointed out to me, particularly the third car. I'm not as concerned as many people are or convinced by the fact that the brake lights come on and off and all that stuff. That's just, for me personally, it's not that convincing. The third car does seem like there could be something there, and I think you could create that into reasonable doubt. Just ended the poll. The poll says about 20% of people think that there is no reasonable doubt. So basically 20% of y'all agree with how I felt when I watched this live yesterday. I was like, oh, this is bad. And it is still bad. Anybody who says there's nothing to this is tripping. I shouldn't say that. Let me not say y'all tripping. But you got to admit this is bad. This is bad for Shannon. I mean, it's bad. But I do see where you can introduce reasonable doubt with all the conversation we had today. So while I'm not gonna say it's not bad, because it is, I'm also gonna say I do think there is a opportunity for reasonable doubt. Y'all, I'm gonna show y'all one other thing. You're gonna find this very interesting, so don't go anywhere. We're about to pop on ChatGPT in a sec. Don't go anywhere. You're gonna find this very interesting, particularly as it relates to Young Thug and his possessions. Everybody hit the like, please. Hit the like. I'm about to show y'all something. I'm about to show you something you're going to be very interested in seeing. I need y'all to hit the like. If we only got 100 likes, y'all just, it's almost like I need to call the Fulton County Sheriffs on you, because that's like watching for free, y'all. Least you could do is give a brother a like. I mean, geez Louise, this is a day off. I'm just trying to give y'all some food for thought on a day off. Hit the like button, please, everybody. We're about to talk about this guy. Oh, but before we do, let me show you where I first saw this. Need to give credit where credit is due. This I saw on my mixtapes on X. Okay. I saw this on my mixtapes on X. So shout out to them. I did not notice this. Again, I be spacing, y'all. So this is a watch. Looks like a nice watch. Could be fake, could be real. I don't K-N-O dubs. I have no idea. But it looks like a very nice watch. So what I did earlier today, I took a screenshot of that watch.
Demetrius Johnson, DEMETRIUS.
1 second.
Johnson, JOHNSON.
Good morning, Officer Johnson.
Good morning.
And where are you employed?
The Atlanta Police Department.
And how long have you been employed with APD?
Coming up 6 years.
All right, so
And what unit are you
this
presently
guy has a
assigned to?
very nice,
Presently, I'm signed to
appears to have a very nice timepiece on his wrist. Will we all agree that timepiece looks nice? So what do y'all think about that timepiece? So what I did was I went to ChatGPT and I put a image of this watch into ChatGPT. I think y'all can see that. I put, please help me ID this watch. What kind of watch does it seem like? And it already gave me this answer. I already saw it. So let's see if it gives me the same answer. And in case y'all cannot see this, it resembles a Richard Mille timepiece. Now, y'all, Am I saying that this is a Richard Mille? No, I'm not. Am I saying this guy stole something from Thug's house? No, I'm not. Okay. This is definitely not the white. Hold up. This is definitely not the Richard Mille. This is definitely not the same watch that that's missing. This is not the watch that Mr. Weinstein was talking about. This is what the Richard Mille RM055 Bubba Watson white ceramic. This is what that watch looks like. If you look at this guy's wrist, he's definitely not, well, I mean, I say definitely, but it doesn't look like the same watch. I'm gonna just do a couple of backs and forth. This is clearly white. This is clearly all white. The watch he's wearing seems to be metallic, and the band is not white. So I don't think it's the same watch, y'all. Okay. And people say it is. People say it is. He changed the straps. I don't know. I just saw this on Twitter today. I'm gonna make a quick video about this in a bit and upload it. You can change the bands. Okay, y'all. I am certainly not insinuating anybody did anything. But again, I saw that here. I saw that here on my mixtapes. Fans think they found Thug's missing watch. So my mixtapes must have seen it somewhere else. I didn't see it anywhere else but here. And so I went to ChatGPT and I just threw the image in ChatGPT. ChatGPT says it resembles a Richard Mille. And so again, I'm going to make a video about it. I don't think a cop would wear a stolen watch to court, but also Richard Mille's are known to be multi-$100,000 watches, multi-tens to multi-$100,000 watches. So again, I'm not saying that this guy did anything wrong. I just found that as an interesting little topic of conversation. So I will leave that to y'all. I'm going to make a quick little video about that. And I think that's going to do it for us today, y'all. I think that's going to do it for us. Let me see. Andre just sent me something. What is this, Andre? Yeah, that's what I just played. That's what I just played. Yeah, that's the same thing I just played. Here it says it's $1.7 million watch. That's a lot of money. So y'all, again, I'm not saying that this cop did anything wrong. I just thought it was an interesting conversation piece. Okay, so please do not say that I said anything. Another thing, I'm not touching the Shannon and Bumpus situation. There's not enough of anything there. This is just purely fun, y'all. But I don't want to talk about people's personal lives without some kind of real evidence or whatever. So, but if you want to know more about Shannon and Bumpus, you can look that up on Twitter. But I just don't. It's not my thing. Not my thing. Not my thing. All right, y'all. That's gonna be it for me. That's gonna be it for me today. I thank everybody for watching. Y'all, please hit the like. Come on, y'all. It's free 99, as so many people say. And do subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And we will be back mañana with a non-jury day. Thank you for the mods. Andre, seeing you in here. I think Amy, Miss Lily. I don't think I saw Miss Lily today, but thank her as well. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Hit the like. Have a good rest of your day. Paris, go to the description of all of any of our videos. The join this. Anybody wants to join as a member? Oh, by the way, let me just run through these people before we go. Cammy Phillips, thanks for the $1.99. Super chat. Pra TV, thanks for the super. Shakur SP, thanks for the super. Thanks for the super sticker. Mina. Black Butterfly, thanks for the super chat. M. Medina, thank you for the super chat, for the double super. SB, thank you for the super sticker. And Elizabeth, welcome to the fam. Anybody wants to become a member, you can check the description of any of our just normal videos, okay? I will see y'all mañana. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.